Hello, everyone. Today we're discussing investment basics everyone should know, and I'm bringing up my very good friend who will be sharing from her wealth of knowledge. She's written a book, Broke After Payday, and she will be educating us immensely today. So if this is your first time joining, settle in. I'm going to try and go live on Instagram right now. So just give me a few seconds and then we'll reintroduce the topic again. If you're just joining, let me know your name, where you're watching from. And please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with friends and family. We're discussing investment basics everyone should know. So let's get into it. Switch on the AC. Close the door. Awesome. We are ready. Fantastic. MEC is already in the room. I was about to call her first. Yay! We have with us the one and only MEC Adikpoju. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're generally going to be having, it's just a gist. It's a gist on investment basics. And so today we're talking about investment basics everyone should know. Like, what are the fundamentals when it comes to investing? And I have with me the Yemisi Adikpoju. She is doctor. Her PhD is, we're going to do our graduation very soon, but she's got an honorary doctor and she has also done a PhD. We're almost done with that. She's an author of the latest book on finance. It's called Broke Before Payday. It's an amazing, easy peasy read for anyone who wants to understand their finances and ensure that they are not broke before the next salary day. So thank you so much for joining us. If you're on Instagram, YouTube is where it is happening. Yes, YouTube is where you will get to see Yemisi's face. You would only hear Yemisi's voice on Instagram, but her voice is sweet and she has a lot of wisdom to share, so you'll still enjoy it. But if you want the real one, go to YouTube so you can get all the information. YouTube is rep360.tv, rep360 TV on YouTube, and you'll get the details. So we're talking about investment basics everyone should know, and it's going to just be a regular conversation back and forth amongst ourselves, trying to educate everyone regarding what are the basic investments everyone should know. Our goal with this media reset, 25 days Gbas is to empower people to finish this year stronger than they started it, finishing this year in a more financially positive space, finishing this year with more financial discipline, finishing this year with more growth, finishing this year better than they started it. So even if the first 6 months of this year, you didn't understand your finances, from this point, we are 11 days into our sessions that we've been doing every day here. Every weekday we've been here sharing tools, tips, principles that would help you master your finances. And so if you've missed any part of it, go back and watch. Today's topic is going to be very, very, very interesting. I'm going to tag the YouTube page so that those that want to see the full detail can get it. So it's Rep360. Please, when you go to YouTube, like and subscribe. Don't just go to YouTube without liking and subscribing, So the full video is on YouTube. I'm going to just type it out on Instagram and tag and pin it, Rep360 TV. All right. Let me see. How you doing? How has your week been? What's going on?
Nothing.
So Yemisi has been touring the entire country, talking about the messaging of Broke Before Payday. She's been educating everybody across the world, and she has taken the message, she has brought the message now to our community right here. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The main deal is on YouTube for those that want to join and be able to ask questions. We'd love you to subscribe. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. And so, let me see. You've spoken to many people concerning their finances. You've advised them. You've coached many concerning. So Yemisi is tripartite. Let me put it that way. Yemisi is on one hand finance, like she understands finance. On another hand, she understands health like a big deal. And on the third side of the tripartite that makes CMC a powerful combination is that she's a coach that helps people to unlock their mind, get into that soul discovery, mindset discovery, self-discovery journey. So there are three dimensions to Yemisi. Today, she's not going to talk about our health. No. Even though if we just to go into that place, we will not live here today. I tell you, the sweet you should not take, the drink you should drink, your all the right things to eat and not to eat. She can spend hours educating us on that. Not today. She's not going to spend time telling us about how to discover ourselves and our mindset. Not today. Today, we are going to restrict CMEC into talking about investments and the basics that people should know about when it comes to investment. So, CMEC, I know that all you need to do is pick a character from your book, but just share with us your initial thoughts when it comes to investment basics people should know about.
Okay, thank you so much, Tokwe, for having me on your Basbos month. Okay, so for me, based on experience, especially with this tour that I've been doing of recent, I discovered that some people do not understand the difference between savings and investments. Because in one of my speaking with people, someone mentioned that she's been investing, and I said, "Oh, that's good. What's your portfolio worth?" And she said, "Oh, she has a 3 million naira," and I was like, "Whoa, okay. Tell me what platforms you use for your investment. Let me see your portfolio." And everything was just sitting in one bank, waiting for that normal bank interest of I don't even know if it's up to 1% or there, but I think she said she gets maybe, I don't know, is it up to 100,000? I don't think it's up to, all right? So I was like, that is not investment at all. So people need to understand that saving your money in a bank or whatever instrument you use is not the same thing as investment. Savings is you are keeping the money in the bank. It's not working. Inflation could eat it and everything. But investment is you keeping your money for value, for it to add value, for value added measures, right? So I like to use this anytime I'm talking about investment. The simplest way I like to explain it two ways. One, the parable of the talents in the Bible. So let's say you remember the person that buried the talents and
Yes.
saved it. That's how savings is. Then the
Yes.
person that multiplied it and more now, than when the master came, he added more to it. That's investment. So if you want to build wealth, it is true investment. Investment would multiply. So multiplication comes from investment, and the only way to build wealth is by multiplying your money, especially while you sleep. Imagine just sleeping. Tokwe is here now, she's talking. Her money is growing in 10 different dimensions. That's investment. You are sending the money on an errand. You are saying, go ye forth and go and bring me harvest. It's like planting seeds, putting fertilizer, right? And the seeds will now turn to fruits. Before mango season is leaving, before we started harvesting or plucking mango, because I love mango, it was a seed. Then it grew into a tree. And it started bringing out fruits. That is how you plant a seed. Then the compounding interest will now bring forth mango. Those mangoes are now your dividends, your return on investments. So that's just basic investment 101. So anybody can understand it.
I love the analogy of, seeds. I love the analogy of, the fact that savings being different from investment means that you not only plant those seeds, but you didn't just hide the seed, you planted it. Because if you hide it, it remains a seed. But when you plant it, it becomes a forest. So investment is your process of planting a seed that turns a seed from being a seed into a forest. And I think that's a very, very beautiful analogy. But, like you said, many people confuse savings with investment. Now, there are what we call high interest savings accounts that people can actually invest into as a way to grow their capital base. And I know yesterday I mentioned, because people asked me a question yesterday, like not even one question, people asked me in different forms yesterday about how to start their real estate investment. And I said, for many people, starting real estate investments requires them to first of all start by saving the money in a high interest account so that the money gets to the point you can approach real estate with it. Because you cannot approach real estate with small money. You need to already have gathered some critical mass. Not be even critical. It might be as little as our cheapest land is 3 million naira. So I'm like, okay, if our cheapest land is 3 million naira, if you don't have 3 million naira, it doesn't mean that you don't have anything. If what you have is 500,000, you can put that 500,000 in a high interest yielding account and add more, add more, add more till you reach the point, or you go into instrumental payment as a way to start. So I want to talk about high interest savings accounts. I know we didn't used to have a lot of it before, but I think now there are more awareness around high interest savings accounts, and I'd like you to educate us on high interest savings accounts. What are the things we should be watching out for when it comes to high interest savings accounts?
So for me, high interest savings account is just a normal account that has an higher returns monthly than the normal conventional savings account. And it is not all banks that have high interest savings account. I think they call it ISA or something. So the first bank, or I use Access Bank. Access Bank has a very good high interest savings account platform where you cannot withdraw your money for like more than 3 times. If you withdraw more than 3 times, you lose the interest for the month. So you have to keep the money. If you are going to withdraw at all, just withdraw a minimum of 3 times. So let me
I did not know that Access has that too.
Access has that, and that's what I use. Is the best for me right now, right? I know there may be others. I know there are
What
lots
do they
of
call it?
ISA, I think ISA, AYSA, high yield savings account. Yes, high yield savings account. ISA. In fact, recently somebody
Can I
wanted.
access it on their platform, on their website?
No, you open an account. You open an account for it. It's like opening a
Okay.
normal savings account. So you have to open an ISA account. So
Okay.
it's really good. Like the interest rate is better. Like so I was saving money for a project and I didn't want to touch it and I didn't want to put it in a strident investment platform where the maturity would, So I put it in this my
Many other
ISA.
platforms they lock it. So
Yeah, they lock it.
I like this one
Yeah.
because it does not lock it.
No, you have access to it immediately, like anytime. So it's also a good way to build your emergency funds account. I tell everybody, have a minimum of 6 months emergency funds. So you can build it in an ISA account where it is growing. Your emergency fund is not just sitting, it is growing, right? So I like Access. I know there are lots of these fintech apps that do lots of this high yield savings account where you can take your money and everything. But I'm still an OD at art, and I kind of like the fact the access or the seamless way that the bank gives me, because I go into my app and I just withdraw the money or transfer it to wherever I want to transfer it to. And it's been working so much for me. Imagine, because of the interest that comes in monthly, a friend actually needed urgent money for something. And I was like, he said, "Boy, I have money. I know just one touch up." I said, "Why?" See, because I don't want to affect my interest. So you can imagine there are a lot of people like that, right? That have this IU saving. Maybe they've done it 3 times, or it has even made them even so disciplined that they don't even want to touch it at all, even though they know they can touch it like 3 times, because they don't want to reduce
The
their
possibility of their interest.
But I think after a certain date, whatever you touch, even if you touch 3 or 4 times, it doesn't affect the use that still comes in for that month. So
that's interesting. I use apps. I have different apps that I use, but I don't do accounts where I can still have access to it in a small form, because I know myself. As much as I believe I am very, very disciplined, when there is pressure, because I know I have access to it, I'll enter the money. So most of my funds are in places where I don't have access to it. Even if I want to, it will take 48 hours before I can withdraw money. And that puts a limit on how I can spend. But I know that I need it. It's not everybody that needs it. Some people, they can have the money there and they close face. And to a large extent, I can do it. But I realize in recent times, I'm getting softer in my willingness, not even for myself, other pressure that I'm digging into money that I will not have touched before. So the me that before I can have money in my account and say, this money is not mine. I don't have access to it, even though it's there. In recent times, if there is need, I'll put my hand into it. So I found more discipline with being in an account where I need at least 24 to 48 hours before I can withdraw the money. So if I want to make any financial decision, because I have to think 48 to 24 hours, it will make me rethink it before I get into that place. So I think it's important for each person to know yourself and know what you can take, what you can handle, and let the money go. So I think you
For
need to
me,
reduce your volume of
me?
your other device. Do you have another device?
No,
What's going on?
no, I don't.
There's an echo, and we're not having echo before.
I don't have anything on
Mm.
anywhere. Is it better?
Okay, go on.
Okay. I like your method. What used to work for me was I used to have an account with Zenith. So it was where my own savings account was. And I don't have an app or an ATM card for that account. So for me to have access to money in that account, I have to physically go to the bank. And I'm not one that likes to go to a bank to queue or anything. So the money just ends up sleeping there.
Okay.
So different strokes for different folks. Like what works for
Mm.
A could work for
Mm.
B.
Mm.
But when
Mm.
you have emergency fund, please always just know that emergency fund is for real emergencies. An
Mm-hmm.
emergency does not mean health, because you are supposed to have a very good comprehensive insurance that would cover that. People feel like insurance is an expense, a wasted expense. If you have insurance for your car, you have insurance for your health, you have insurance for everything that you need insurance for, even for your parents. Even
Mm.
people have insurance for their elderly parents, that they even there's this program that they run, that even if God forbid the parents go and join the Lord, the burial thing is taken care of, right? And they give you this life insurance and all that. So there is no excuse to touch emergency fund unless it is real emergencies, like the emergency that you could not foresee. Maybe you
Critical
lose
emergency.
your job, you lose your
Mm.
source of income, God forbid your business gets burnt. Those are times where you dip into your emergency funds, for me, right?
100%.
Yeah. So, and I feel like we should all have multiple sources of income, which is where the investment that Topper is talking about now comes into play.
Thank you. So I'm in the space where I'm still hearing myself. Can you not hearing me?
I can hear you loud and clear, normal. There's
So
no
there's an
difference.
echo. That's the thing. No wahala. It wasn't like that before, but continue. Unless I can
So
figure
for
out what the problem is.
investments, people need to
Mm.
understand their risk appetite.
Thank you for
So the
going there.
fact, so there's mild, moderate, and high, right? Aggressive is the one that is like this equity things that we like. But we did not start just like that. We started with the mild one. So if you are just coming into investments, or if you are up to a certain age, I was telling somebody the other day, she's almost 50. I said, you have no business doing any aggressive investments at your age. What you should
And
do is
let them pass 50. Me, I advise over 50.
uh, because already she doesn't have a high threshold for losing money. She's had bad experiences with money loss. So she's very, everybody, you need to analyze. So when I advise
A bit
people on
skeptical.
investment, I need to analyze each person, because everybody is not the same. If you're just coming into investment, I will not tell you to buy stocks. I'll tell you, go into money market, put it in any of these safe money market instruments, right? Or put it in the ISA. That's a safe investment. real estate is a safe investment. Very safe investment. But when you're not talking about gold, all those things, you're talking about high risk investments. So
Commodity
if you
market
have
is very,
money,
very high risk.
yeah,
You know our experience now. We went to check ourselves inside commodity market and we lost all the money. That was about 2022. It was a
yes,
huge loss. So
very,
I
very
am of
huge
the
one.
opinion that it's not something that people should jump into unless it's money you can let go completely. Money you can ignore. If it's not money you can ignore, then you have no business going there.
Okay, so what may I
Um,
do now when I'm
mhm,
managing people's portfolio or advising people? If you have the high threshold for even those kind of investments, the aggressive ones, what
mm,
I do is I build your money for a time. We can have a time frame or whatever. Then we use the income, the dividends, the return on the ROI from your initial investment. That is,
mhm.
it is the ROI we put in the aggressive investment. So that
So
way,
we
even if
can risk
anything
the ROI.
happens to
We're
it
not risking the capital.
at all,
Mm, mm.
and a certain
That's another
percentage
good
of it
approach.
too.
Mm.
So that's the approach I've been using for people that are just growing their portfolio. I want to buy stocks, I want to buy this, I want to buy that. It has to be from your ROI of your initial safe investment. Yes.
Yeah. So, another thing I find interesting when I'm talking about investment basics, everybody should know is that when it comes to investment, there's always risk. There's no investment that does not carry risk. Every single investment carries a form of risk, and the risk can be global. Earlier this year, we went into war.
Mm-hmm.
State of Hormuz was blocked. Some things that were zero risk became huge risk. Things that
Yeah.
were like clockwork were delayed. When there
Mm-hmm.
was the Ukraine crisis, there was also that problem of oh jeez, I don't like the echo I'm hearing. I don't know how to avoid. When there was the Ukraine crisis as well, there was a problem of the fact that the Ukraine crisis brought about very expensive wheat. You know, food went really high, food produce went really up. Um, and that changed the dynamics of things, you know. So for me, it was very, every investment, is a risk, and it is important for us to know the risk exists, because when you know that the risk exists, then you are able to mitigate that risk in its first place. Then as well as, not only are you able to mitigate the risk, is that you are also able to um I'll put it this way, you are able to be realistic in your expectations. When you believe there's no risk, you put everything you own. That's why some people borrow money for investment. I am of the opinion no human being, nobody should borrow money to go and invest. You borrow money, you invest your savings. You don't borrow for an investment, because every investment is risky. But when you don't think every investment is risky, even the invest, let's say you are investing in your husband, or you're investing in your wife, or you're investing in your father, you're investing in your pastor, you're investing in somebody that you believe this man has high integrity. The person cannot control when war happens. You know, the person cannot
Of
control
course.
when there is crisis. So it's important that you don't take a loan for investment. It's a major investment basic everybody should know. Even if the deal is so good, don't go and borrow money for the deal. It's similar to gambling. An investment is not a gamble.
Mm.
Investment is not a gamble. So whenever you are approaching investment and it's coming across like you are taking a gamble, where you are, some people are mortgaging or refinancing their house to go and put in one investment scheme, thereby putting a risk on the house they already own, because of the promise of an amount of money that will come through a deal. That for me is worrisome. But what are other things that you have seen in your experience that are things, mistake people are making, or opportunities they are overlooking?
For mistakes, I feel like people don't do due diligence. So people invest because XY is investing. So for me, for instance, if Tokwe is investing in something, I don't mind investing in whatever Tokwe is investing in, because I trust the knowledge and experience that myself and Tokwe has gained.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I don't mind follow. If the person says, oh, let's invest in gold, I'll say, okay, let's
You will
invest in
follow.
gold. I won't question it twice, right?
Mm,
But a lot of people that are not yet in that space, but that's because I know you. We have
mm,
grown together. We
mm,
have knowledge that we can intershare and everything.
mm.
And if you are saying it, it means because I already kind of know about it. But you don't, people generally should not invest because one coach online is saying, oh, you need to go to BC investment company, invest right now. I've been there, I've done that, and it ended badly. Like,
It
and that
backfired.
was yeah, and that was commodity trading, right? And trading in currencies and gold and all that. So I wouldn't do that right now and say, oh, I need you to come and invest. You need to do your own due diligence. You need to find out first, does it align with my values? Does it align with my risk appetite? Is it something I can do? If the money goes, what happens? Can I stand the test of time? There are some
Are
investments
there
that you have
strong
to
enough
leave.
guarantees?
Exactly. There's some investments that you have to leave. Right now, the equity market is down. A lot of people are panicking to remove their money. For me, it is the best time for me to buy, not to sell. But that's because I understand what investment is. Investment is not a get rich quick scheme. That's why a lot
Mm.
of us fall into these Ponzi schemes where everybody wants to
We're
get
looking
rich
for
quick.
quick fix.
So yeah, and those are the mistakes people make. And I feel like
Mm.
diversify your income. A lot of people don't do diversification because BC companies saying come and invest 2 million, you get 5 million. They'll put everything they have into it, forgetting that please scatter your seeds. Don't put all your eggs in one basket because if the basket falls, everything gets broken.
Yeah.
So this is me
Yeah.
speaking from experience. I have been
Mm.
there, done that. When it comes to investments, I have enjoyed it. I have cried over it.
You
Like
have
in
suffered
all dimensions,
bad
I've
boost.
suffered the loss of it. I have
Mm.
lost relationships over
Mm.
investments. And
Mm.
so I'm very careful these days. And I'm happy that since sometimes experience is the best teacher, you know. So sometimes things happens to shape you into what you're supposed to become. So I'm happy that that experience happened. And it has shaped me into what I have become today. How I could call myself a mini guru when it comes to investment choices, what to do, what not to do part-time,
Mm.
diversification, where to put your money. If you are earning 100,000, for instance, you should know how much goes to this, allocate your money, you should have a budget, you should have an investment
Mm.
allocation monthly where you put it and it's just compounding. So the fact that
Mm.
you're putting in a business today, you can put in a business tomorrow. So I, for instance, grew from investment to private equity. A lot of people are missing out on private equity. So
Mm.
yes, diversification is what people are missing out on. Private equity is a very good way to have in your portfolio, but not from people with low threshold of
Mm.
investment, not for the
Yeah, because it is a huge risk.
yeah.
Very, very
So
huge risk.
it's very
So
extremely.
many times whenever we talk about investment, I would go into my, oh geez. Please, I want to be sure everybody can still hear me. I'm going to reduce the audio because it seems it's my own side that is echoing. Let me know if you can still hear me even as I'm talking. I reduced the volume of my
Can hear
phone.
you.
I wasn't having that problem before, but suddenly it's echoing. So since the echoing is echoing, I just decided to reduce the volume. So I want to be sure you can still hear me. You can hear me, right? Let me
Loud and
see.
clear. There's no difference.
You can hear me?
Yes, perfect, perfect. There's no difference.
Okay. I can't hear you because that's the only way I'm sure that the audio will not echo back at me. But I always come up with my preferred investment option. That's the attraction I have towards real estate. It's not the only investment I do, but like 90% of my funds go into real estate, and it's because of how stable, realistic, touchable it is. I do it personally. I do it as a business because real estate is my own business. So when people, it's always a bit it's always a bit like, I won't say confusing. I'm always on the fence when it comes to advise me concerning investment because I am partial. So I tell people I am partial. My partiality is because I am into real estate. So I would always first prioritize real estate investment. I have done it. I understand it. Real estate, you can touch it, you can sleep on it, you can feel it. They cannot steal it the way they can steal gold. It's not ordinary paper the way your shares and stock is. You know, many of us are putting millions and millions of naira into apps that can shut down and disappear. I have money in some apps right now that I'm like, I don't even really know who the CEO is, but the app can just disappear. With real estate, I make myself personally available to clients. We do Zoom meetings every month with every client that buys from my company. So nobody will buy from me and say they don't know me. If you bought from the 360, you know me. You would have spoken to me. You would have met me at one point or the other, whether through the Zoom meeting and all of that. So yes, I would always rate real estate as your number one safest investment for you to put your money into. If you do your due diligence and you trust the company, trust us at Red 360, we got your back. I have to say it with my full chest. Trust us at Red 360, we got your back. However, I put money into apps I don't know the owners. And I have withdrawn money, I have saved money, I have, I've put money in and out. And over this year, I've even just locked money into multiple vehicles that I've not even withdrawn. I've not withdrawn from Cowrie Wise before. Okay, I did. I paid in money into Cowrie Wise and I did not want to invest the money. I withdrew my money and I got my money back. I've done Invest Niger. I don't know the CEO of Invest Niger. I don't know the owner and founders of Cowrie Wise. I don't know the owners and founders of Restream. But all of these are companies and their apps. I just downloaded the apps and I use them. So I understand, but whatever money I'm putting into them is a fraction of what I put into real estate. Like I said, 90% of my funds go to real estate. 10% go into those platforms because if it goes down, Omadumi, it will pay me small, but I will move on. But you see, my real estate, I stand gidigba on those ones. And that's the same way I offer it to investors, that if you want to invest your money, come with me, let's go to real estate. I would also tell you, you can put a little in these other platforms because real estate is not liquid. That's the truth. You can have a billion naira in assets and you are broke. I have met people that they have land, they have houses, and they are struggling to pay school fees.
Yeah.
Because the assets they have is not liquid. So when you are making investments, one of the key basics you should have is liquid investment is different from illiquid investments. Your liquid investments are those your money market. You can quickly go there and collect the money. But your gold is liquid investment. You can quickly go and meet a bookie at any corner and you sell your gold, you have cash. However, your land, your house is not liquid. You can be looking for money and they are looking at the house and say they are not ready, they don't have enough money, or maybe the property is even too expensive for them to liquidate immediately. So you need to have your liquid investment, which is cash or cash equivalent, as you also have your capital appreciation assets. Your capital appreciating assets are your real estate portfolio, which is very, very important. Let me see.
Yes.
What's your story concerning
concerning what?
Liquidity.
So for me, I like what you say about real estate. It's just that for me, I don't really do land banking. I do more of, I like to develop properties so that for rental income in whatever dimension, because I don't know, I like that money frequency that comes into play. So if you're going to do short let and also the normal annual rental income and all that, that's my own number one real estate investment that I would do, right? And for me, because I know that I may not have the liquid to do at the moment, I'm still growing, to do like a development alone. I'd rather do it with people so that I can have like a piece of the pie. So it's better to have a piece of the pie in 20 places than to have just one piece. And you need to, I know Tope used to do this American property where people come together to own a property in America. I know she's done like 1, 2, 3, or maybe on her 4th or 3rd one now. So something like that is something that I do. right? Especially because it is investment properties. It's not a property that I want to live in or I want to stay. So whatever I own or I have, I pour into that aspect of investment when it comes to real estate for the percentage I have allocated for real estate. Then when it comes to liquidity, opportunities come every day. You may have an opportunity now for investment, and you don't have the liquid. You know, for you in real estate, you understand how it is. Somebody could call you now and say there's this land deal, and you are not liquid enough to even pay for this land deal. Then what happens? That's why for me, I always advise people, always ensure that your portfolio, the diversification of your portfolio allows a certain percentage to be liquid. So that liquidity is not your emergency funds, please. It's not the money market fund. There's something I call investment opportunity fund. So you put it in a place whereby you can also take it out, but it's also growing. That investment opportunity fund is for investment opportunities that can come in any day. So you need to grow to that level where you know that you're also growing your investment opportunity fund in your portfolio. So that's what I do, so that when opportunity comes, there's an opportunity to be to have a certain percentage in a business. That doesn't work for only real estate, it works for private equity too, which is something I enjoy doing. Like, it's even my number one. Private equity is good because I've been successful with it. And two, then the real estate, I don't even know, I think they're at par, but I like having percentages or shares in different companies that are, I do my due diligence before I put my money in any business, not just because any startup is starting or any company is coming and you just put in your money. No, you have to do your due diligence. You have to understand the business. You have to trust the people. You have to run background checks on the people. So there are different ways that does not happen in Nigeria, because Nigeria, we like to work with relationships, right? Me, I got into a kind of, I did a course and I got into this thing where before I put the money into any company, I run background checks on the people, the owners of the company, right? I run background check on them. I run background check on the kind of business. I do like a forecast, a 5-10 years forecast. Will this business still be feasible and all that? So those are the kind of due diligence that you must do before you do private equity. Private equity is a different ball game. If Coco was going to do a class on private equity, then would know that we're facing.
It's a full week set.
It's a full year before I
It's a
forget
full
that we're
week.
talking
I
about
believe that
investment
private
basis.
equity is something for you would have graduated, is a PhD, is a master's degree or MBA of investment. Is not your basics of investment. You know,
I
today
feel
we're
like
talking
it's a
about basics of
PhD.
investment. To people that you're just trying to grow your money. Private equity is for people that you have already done a lot of basics. And there are systems that make it easy to do private equity. The Nigerian system doesn't really make it easy to do private equity because there are many loopholes with which the company can siphon funds and integrity can be really, really pushed. So for me, it's the person that owns the company that you must trust. Your private equity, your private placement is in the person's integrity. Because I've heard stories and we cannot even go into it. But I love what you mentioned about having liquidity for investment. So as a company, we save. We save as a company so that we can take advantage of offers when they come. There are offers that if you don't have savings, and we started saving as a company because we missed out on some offers. Some offers will not give you payment timeline. Some offers will not give you go and come back. Some offers are hot cake, profitable offers, and you have to be able to grab those offers. So if you are an individual, you are buying, you are investing, you must have access to funds to take advantage of opportunities when they come. Even with not even land, even with a car, there are deals when somebody wants to just japa. That was last year. There was like a japa car deal when a car was like sold for less than 50% the value, but because the person needed immediate cash. Now, if you don't have liquidity to grab the opportunity, you miss it. You miss out. I know someone that was able to buy that car at less than 50%, and in 2 months later sold the car for actual value, just because they had money to grab the opportunity and they knew it was a fast-moving car. There are always going to be opportunities. I'm not saying you should go and do car business. You don't understand it. You need to do what you understand. Or you partner with a company that understands. We've shared a whole lot in the course of our conversation. We've spoken on the importance of saving in high interest yielding accounts, ISA. We also spoke about the importance of understanding your risk appetite so that you are not investing that in a way that gives you hypertension. You invest based on your personality. There's also the impact of age. If you are in your 20s, you are different from someone in his or her 50s. Someone in their 50s might not want to lose money at the rate with which a 20-year-old, the money can go and they'll feel like, I'll make another one. But a 50, 60-year-old, your retirement money, maybe you are retiring at 65, you now collect retirement money and then you go and use it to do an investment and the entire thing goes. You don't gamble your retirement money. You are supposed to already be building your investment knowledge and capacity before retirement, because many people actually gamble away, not gamble, they invest wrongly their retirement money because they did not have this kind of information that we're sharing for free here. So if you are getting this for free, please say thank you to TMO. Thank me. I want to collect. Say thank you to Yemisi. Say thank you, Yemisi. Thank you, Yemisi, because the truth is what we're sharing is knowledge that can help you prepare. Even if all you get from this is to ensure that you have insurance coverage, because Yemisi mentioned ensuring everything insurable. Ensure you have old parents. It's not possible. No matter how whatever you pray, they are still going to go to the other. They are going to. We are going to do. They've gone to glory. Celebration of life will happen, and it will cost you money. Don't be shocked when celebration of life happens. Rather, do an insurance scheme that protects you, that when they now move on to glory, you will collect money from insurance company that you can at least use to sort out basic things. Those are some of the things we covered today. Then we spoke about I spoke about real estate. You know, I'm partial towards real estate. She doesn't do land banking. She has enough money. I'll cast you to go for bigger real estate deal. But when you are just starting in real estate, land banking brings you profit. But we also have shortlet houses. We have houses in Iklupeju you can use for shortlets, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom. If you work and the budget is friendly, it's not like the Iklupeju standard of like 250, 150 million. This one is going for 20 million, 12 million, 18 million naira for a 1 bed and a studio apartment in Olupeju. That's a good deal, and you can get shortlets with it. So there are multiple options. You should be talking to our wealth advisors. We have 5 wealth advisors you can talk to. Please ensure that you talk to them. Let them guide you on which investment opportunity works for you, because they might not even. I honestly believe that they will not tell you specific answers, but what they will do is they will ask you questions to help you identify the right line of action. You know, that's what I know they would do. So definitely, the people are thanking Yemisi, they are thanking TMO. Thank you. We've had a very interesting time. I would like to have final comments from Yemisi. Of course, I need to go and increase the volume because I don't know what's going on today. We're having echoing for the first time.
Oh, thank you. It's been an interesting time with you. And in my closing remarks is this: investment is not for the rich. Investment is not for the rich at all. Investment is for everybody. Leave a legacy of wealth. Enjoy your retirement. Then another thing is retirement is not for the middle-aged. Start your retirement plan early. There's something called retirement investment that you invest. So even if you are doing pension and all that, it's not enough for the standard of living that you want to continue after your working age, right? So retirement investment is very important. That's another topic on its own that you have, that topic can go into and all that. So please, everybody should invest. And I'm happy. I'm really happy that you are doing this initiative of growing people, helping them multiply wealth, because financial empowerment, I don't like when people are financially depressed or financially embarrassed. So and the fact that you even have wealth builders or something that they can call for advice, it's a big one. And may God bless you, because I'm not saying this lightly. It's really good that you are empowering people, because one of the reasons why people are even sick ailments, chronic ailments, it's because of lack of money. So there's a way when I don't want to go into the linkage between finance and health, but you are doing a good job. Like, keep it up, and thank you so much. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you. Let me reduce the volume again. Thank you. So the thing is, I've had people call our wealth advisors, and they will tell you, they don't tell you, oh, you must buy Rep 360 products. They actually listen to you to guide you. So it's important you're honest with them. But I didn't want Yemisi to go into health, but the truth is, health is very linked to wealth, and your health is your best form of wealth. That's the truth. So it's a topic we probably will discuss another time. But I realize that what people need more now, if you go into health, you will hear people telling you how it is expensive to go to the hospital, it's expensive to do this. So let's teach you how to make money. Let's teach you how to multiply your money. Let's teach you how to invest wisely. By this, if you implement the principles we're sharing with you, you will have the surplus to ensure that your health does not lag behind. But please don't leave your health behind because you think you're trying to make money. That's also not the right way to go, because what you ignore today becomes a bigger problem tomorrow. So let's ensure that we're building side by side. At every point in time. Yemisi had mentioned earlier about shortlets and about rental income. Now, it is true that rental income is a real estate that gives you cash flow, while land banking is about capital appreciation. It doesn't give you cash flow. You need to split your investment across board based on how liquid you are. She also mentioned that we were doing fractional ownership in the US, in the UK. We don't do fractional ownership in Dubai because Dubai only allows for two owners on a property. So if you want to own in Dubai, just two people can buy a property in Dubai. But if you want fractional ownership where $10,000, $20,000 can own new real estate, then you can talk to Josephine. The number is right there on the screen on YouTube and on Facebook, if that is what you want. However, at the end of the day, just talk to our wealth advisors and they would guide you based on the information you share with them. It's been an interesting time with you, Yemisi. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for adding value to us. Please tell us about your book, Broke Before Payday, and the impact the book is already having on the community and the community you are building. What does the book highlight? What are the lessons from the book in summary, and how can people get the book Broke Before Payday? Please don't forget to share this video. We're almost done for today, but share the video. Thank you.
It's broke after payday with a question mark. Okay, so the book just talks about what everybody goes through, like the reason why you can be broke, why your salary or your income may not be enough for your standard of living for everything. It talks about the kind of loans you should take or not take. It talks about peer pressure. It talks about living beyond your means, social pressure. It talks about black tax. It talks about your retirement. It talks about everything investment in a nutshell. It talks about your personal finance in a nutshell. When you read the book, you identify yourself in one of the stories. And yes, buying the book brings you to a community where we read chapter by chapter. We read each chapter weekly. We talk about our reflections, what has ignited in us, what we're going to change. So after reading the book, we move on to the next phase, which is personal finance. We start to, now they're already working on budgeting. So we have different cohorts. So there's a cohort happening now that's already on chapter 2. There's another one that will be happening on chapter 3. There's another one that will start maybe in 2 months' time, and the likes. So joining the community is where you can see like-minded people that can push you to grow wealth.
Thank you. So what I'm going to do is, to avoid this echoing, what I'm going to do is we would drop the link to acquire Yemisi Adepoju's book. I'll drop it in the comments on Facebook, YouTube, as well as Instagram. I would tag her so you can go to the link in her bio to order, and then you can join the community. You can never know too much about money. My mentor, Dr. Olumide Emmanuel, always says that if you want to master money, you need to read books about money to the tune of your age. That means I am 41. I need to have read at least 41 books on money. So what is your age? How many books have you read about money? How many online programs have you done about money? Whatever it is you want to understand, you need to be. People become doctors because they spent years studying medicine. So if you want to be wealthy, you need to spend time studying wealth. And the truth is, success leaves clues. There are so many clues to help you become more successful. I have a book called Mastering the Money Game. I have a book called Transform. Lemisi has a book called Broke Before Payday. Olamide has a book called The Rich Christian. Dr. Olumide has The School of Money, How to Build Wealth on a Salary. Salary is not a scam. There are so many books on wealth. So if you are 25, get 25 books on money that you're going to read. If you're 35, get 35 books on money you're going to read. You need to read even more books than your age, just so that you are very, very sure that you are ready for the wealth commensurate to your age. Many of us are at a particular age. You are 35, but the money you have, the cash flow, the wealth of knowledge, the kind of resources you have is something people in their 20s have, because you don't have the knowledge. You don't give what you can't give what you don't have. So acquire knowledge, buy books, join communities, study as a group, empower yourself. At the end of the day, there's room at the top. It is crowded at the bottom. So leave the bottom for those that are not empowered or have the knowledge you are having from watching our session today. And come and join us at the top. Come and join us. We are going higher. Dangote, there is no room in Dangote's area. We want to reach there. So come up as we are going up, and acquiring knowledge is part of the key tools you would need to get to. Imagine if we went to Oxford went to Harvard. Tony Elumelu to Harvard. Tony went to Harvard. Dangote went to Harvard. Imagine we are also doing executive MBA when Tony Elumelu was doing executive MBA. In like minds, you will just be joining one another. Empower yourself. Empower yourself. The people that would matter in the next 10 years, they are currently empowering themselves now. So empower yourself, prepare yourself for the future. The end of 2026 is dependent on the things you implement based on what we have shared now. So I can't wait to hear your testimonies in all you do. Keep growing. Thank you, MEC. Love you. You know I love you. I'll chat with you on WhatsApp after now.
Bye.